Hello, all.
Hello, ma'am.
Very good morning. Hi, hi. Good morning. And again, I'm super excited to host the second series of our webinar, hosted and organized by Pillai Institute of Management Studies and Research. And we have a very dynamic speaker here with us, that is Ruchi Ahaluwalia. So, hi, Ruchi. Are you there?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nivedita.
Good morning, Ruchi. So we have so many of them who have already joined. I think we have almost 190 people here who are now waiting to listen to you. And let me just give a short introduction of the webinar series. We just had our first webinar series just 2 weeks ago, where we had Dr. Pramod Sadar Joshi, a very, very senior HR executive who hosted a webinar on transformational leadership, and he spoke on placements and job scenarios and the skills needed now for the students to keep them updated after the pandemic. And then now we are having you today again, Ruchi. I welcome all the heads, all the teachers, all the lovely students, our dear students for whom we are doing all this activity to help them updated, to give them information, to prepare them for new world is our attempt. And this is our second webinar. And on to Momita. Momita, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, you're audible. So, on
Okay.
behalf of Pillai Institute of Management Studies and Research, I welcome all our sister institutes, Dr. Pillai Global Academy, Pillai HOC Campus, Pillai Campus, and Chembur Campus. I welcome all the teachers, the students, and participants for this webinar. And I'm definitely sure you're going to take a lot of toolkits today from Ruchi, which she's going to present. So, be prepared and enjoy the session. We will have the interaction in the end. So now I will give the platform to Momita to introduce our speaker, and she's a moderator for today. So let's listen to Ruchi and Momita. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nivedita, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. And
Yes.
good morning, everyone. And welcome to the webinar today. So it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Ms. Ruchi Ahluwalia, to you all. Now she is the Director, Human Resources and Marketing Communications, Scania Commercial Vehicles India Private Limited. And she is a certified senior professional in human resources, SPHR from HRCI. Ruchi brings with her over 20 years of experience across various industries like software, pharma, automobile, financial services, healthcare, and engineering. And there she has played strong leadership roles. Just to mention some of her core areas of strength are vision creation, strategic planning and implementation, innovation, strong interpersonal facilitation, mentoring, and coaching. Her major expertise lie in organizational development and business partnership, change management and building high performance leaderships, mergers and acquisitions, and due diligence. Ruchi is quite active as a guest speaker and a panelist in various professional and social forums as well. In a nutshell, I would say she's a passionate person with a positive attitude and a strategic approach to life in all walks of life. And that's what makes her the ideal speaker for today's webinar, where we are going to see how to unlock the secrets of throwing problems out of our lives. So, welcome Ruchi to the webinar. But before I hand over the session to her, I would just like to share some instructions for the participants as well. The session duration will be approximately 50 minutes, and then it will be open for questions from your side. Please unmute yourself at the time of asking your question, and don't forget to mute again after that. If you have any queries during the session, you can put up that in the chat box also, and we will take up those questions at the end of the session. So finally, without taking much of your time now, it's over to Ruchi. Ruchi, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Momita. Thank you, Nivedita. I would just put it on the presentation mode. So give me a couple of seconds. Good. You can see my screen now? I'm assuming yes. Okay. So once again, good morning to all of you who are there virtually. I'm very excited and happy at the same time to be presenting or to be talking to you or to be meeting you like this through a virtual platform. And the very reason of this excitement is actually twofold. Uh, One of the reason is that talking to you guys is like me going back almost 19 years when we were doing our MBA, and we were college kids like you guys, full of energy, full of excitement, anxiety, of course, and looking forward to the future. So, because of you, I have gone back in the memory lane and it feels deja vu now. Sitting across on the other side of the table is really exciting. The other reason why I am happy is that this topic, particularly, is very dear to me. And the reason I say so, not because I'm in HR, but because I feel this is a much needed tool or technique which all the human beings, who have mind and intelligence, which is what human beings possess, should have. Because if we are humans, we have, like I said, mind, and if we have mind, we have challenges, we have issues, and we have life, which throws up certain things at our front. And, that really tests our acumen and expertise and our willingness to get through it. So, this particular topic of self coaching, I mean, particularly coaching, we all of us need at one point or the other, whether we are playing or whether we are, for our studies or for our, let's say, for our professional careers. And when we are in the career so far, still now I have a coach because very often we face problems or challenges and we need somebody else to help us out. But on the other hand, I felt the best coaching that I've ever received is through my own self. And hence, this topic is about self coaching. So I'll get into the topic in a little bit from now. And I also realize that this topic is a little bit abstract for a lot of you, who are just very young to have any problems in life. And I hope you don't have any. But just in case you have, let's try to understand this a little bit before I get into the intricacies of the topic. So the best way to understand anything is through a story. So I'll tell you a story. Now, there is this man, and he wants to take a walk. He goes on for a walk and keeps walking, 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 walking. And he realizes that he's entered into paradise. That's where he sees lovely flowers, shrubs, big trees, lushy green trees, and he's very thrilled about it. He also realizes that he's been walking for a long time, and because of which he's got tired and he's a bit sleepy. It's a bit of an old man. So he gets sleepy and he says, I wish I could sleep, somewhere. And he finds this lovely green tree with a lot of leaves, very shady tree. So he says, okay, let me go and sleep there, lush green grass beneath. He goes there and he sleeps. And after he wakes up, he realizes that he's been sleeping for the last 2 to 3 years. And he's very relaxed, he's very content and happy. But then he also realizes that he is hungry. And when you are hungry, you kind of all your favorite food comes in front of you. So he starts to, oh, I'm so hungry. I wish I eat this, I have that. And, he wishes about all his favorite food. And what he sees out of magic is suddenly all the favorite food of his is right in front of him to grab. That's when he's very thrilled, and since he's hungry, he doesn't care and he starts to gobble and eat. He eats a lot. After eating, he's like, wow, that was a lovely meal. And then he says that, but you know what? I'm also thirsty. I wish I had something to drink. So besides water, he imagines some different juices and their drinks or wines or whatever he wanted to. He wishes them. And then within a second, he sees all his favorite drinks, including water, is right in front of him. And that's when he doesn't question and he starts to drink, drink, drink. Now, when the thirst is quenched, when the hunger is satiated, his mind starts to tickle. Like, hey, wait a minute. What is happening here? I wish for food, food comes. I wish for something to drink, and all my favorite drink comes. There's something wrong with this place. I feel there are ghosts here. And the moment he thinks about ghosts, ghosts come from all across to him. The moment he sees the ghost, his mind starts to tickle once again. It's like, oh my God, ghosts are here and they're going to come and torture me. And there you go. As he wished, the ghost starts to torture him. And then when they torture him, he's like, oh God, I can't bear this pain. I'm sure they're going to kill me. And unfortunately, he gets killed. Now, the moral of the story with this is that our mind, he was actually sitting beneath a kalpa vriksha tree. I mean, an imaginary tree, it's called a wishing tree. But our mind is like that kalpa vriksha tree, you know. And whatever you really want from yourself, if your mind, emotions, energy, and your actions, they are absolutely aligned for a certain period of time, anything that you really want in your life comes true or it happens. Now, it is unbelievable, but that's true. Now, if it is such a simple recipe, then all of us should get whatever we want, like a, like a genie. Why doesn't this happen? And why do we face challenges? Now, the answer to that is, I said, when the mind, the energy, the emotions, and the actions are all aligned, then it happens. But more often than not, what happens is whenever our mind faces a challenge, it goes, after a while, it goes in an auto mode. And then auto mode means those thoughts which were coming, or the ideas that were coming to me consciously, has now become unconscious. So I'll give you an example to just to relate with it how it really happens. Now imagine you are in a sea, and you are in a sea and it's full of water across. You know a little bit of swimming, not enough to really, cross the sea. And you see nothing around you, and it's you are just trying to dabble and you're just trying to swim through, and you don't know what to do. What kind of emotions you're going to get? Hopelessness, anxiety, fear, negative thoughts that I'm going to probably drown myself, and I don't know what all. Very few people will say, no, I'm going to make it. And then you might have a boat nearby, right? But most of the people will either not see the boat because they're so busy into their own sea that they might not even look around and see a boat there. And some of them who can see a boat will be so threatened or tired to even go and reach out to the boat to rescue themselves. Now, this is how the mind works. The sea, if you see, is like a mind, and the water all around in that sea is your thoughts, the unconscious thoughts, whenever you are faced with a challenge. One thought lead to the other, third thought lead to the fourth one, and within milliseconds, you are in a mesh of those thoughts, which create these anxiety, negative feelings, victimization, fear, and whatever you give. I can make a list of it, right? Now, this particular tool that I'm talking about self coaching, is a practical way. It's a step by step process of taking your unconscious mind out and making it conscious, aligning your energy and your actions through this step by step process. Because if I just talk about it, many of you would not get it. You really need a tool. Okay, I get the concept, but I need a tool to really implement it. And that's when I thought, I developed this tool, and I've been using it, and I have probably spoken to many people, and then they have started to use it. So let's get into the topic a little bit more in depth and understand what this step by step self coaching process is, or the toolkit is. So if you see it on the screen, there are 5 simple steps to this process of self-coaching. The first step is empty the cup. The second is desired results. Third is bucketize the issue. The fourth one being the solution is with me. And the fifth is act. The ACT word is an acronym. It also means action, but it's an acronym out here, and you'll get to know a little later what ACT means. Now, As any other process, for this particular tool to work, we need certain ingredients, we need certain things to really work on it. And these are very simple things, as you can see on the screen. We just need some pens. You can use some colored pens, at least one pen. And we need an A4 sheet, A3 sheet, or a chart sheet. Now, why I say that, you can use any paper, but we need a lot of space, and you'll realize that for that C to come on the paper, you really need a big paper. So preferably a chart sheet, some colored pens. The second thing we need is a quiet place. We don't need anybody for this particular exercise, not even the people who we are very close to. No friends, no relatives, no nobody, right? It's just we and our problem. And then, of course, like I said, we need a problem statement. Whatever is really bogging us or taking us down, or we're not able to figure out a way out of this problem, right? So with these tools, we start the exercise, or we start the using the toolkit and try to get into more depth. Now, once you have these tools with you, the exercise is to go to this quiet place with your canvas, with your chart sheet and pens, and your problem statement, and open up that chart sheet. On the left side of that chart sheet, we leave a space of about 4 inches, like probably this big. Leave that space, keep it aside. On the on the other side, on the rest of the side, create 4 columns. Column number 1, please make sure that that's big enough, maybe bigger than the others, the width. And then you have second column, third column, and the fourth column, pretty much which is shown in the screen in front of you. Don't worry about the design and all. It's just plain scale and pen that you have to use for this exercise, right? Now, once you have done this, like you see in the sheet in front of you, or the slide in front of you, in the first column where I have put number 1, you write empty the cup. Just write empty the cup for now. I'll explain to you what has to be done. Then the space that we left on the left side, that 4-inch space, in big bold letters, you can use a colored pen, you can be creative and whatever you want to. Write number 2 there and write desired results, right? After doing that, come to where I have written column number 3, which is just next to the column number 1. Write bucketize issues. Next to it, column number 4, you write solution is with me. And the last column, column number 5, which is actually column number 4, number 5 here written, you write act, ace.c.ft. Okay, we'll come to the act, the expansion of act. Now, once you have done that, let's go back and focus on the first step, or the first column, which is empty the cup. Now, what does this mean? It means that there is a problem that is bugging you, and it's not actually one problem. There are several associated feelings, facts, issues that are related to that problem, which has now become like a dish for you. So it's not just one fact that is problematic for you. It is your mind has woven stories around it, and now it's become a big problem. So I'll give you an example out of this. Say suppose we all know that we are in a very difficult situation, or a very unique situation, which is just thrown up upon humankind, which is this COVID-19 situation. Now, because of it, all of us, whether it is in business, whether it is in professional world, or students like you, are in some kind of an uncertainty about the future. Some people would be wondering whether I will have campus placement. Some people who've got campus selection would be wondering whether I will, when would I be able to join? Would my offer be honored? Would my date of joining be honored? Would my package be honored? Would there be any deferment? Some people who do not have those thoughts might have, oh, how would the new life look like? How would my new job look like? And so on and so forth. Now, the problem with this is, the fact is one. The fact is that maybe you don't have a job, or maybe you have the job. But rest of it is your mind's creation. It's imagination out of your memory or your anxiety, which is leading to a problem, may lead, I'm not saying that it is leading, may lead to a problem where you get negative thoughts. Please remember, I said mind is not a problem. How you're using it becomes a problem. So the negative thoughts is the unconscious thoughts that are coming. You have no control on it. It's like driving the car without having control on it. If you know how to drive, you have control, you'll enjoy the view. But imagine if you've gotten into the car and the car is gone out of control in an auto mode, you're going to be scared, right? And you're not going to enjoy your ride. So that's how pretty much unconscious thoughts lead to. Now, why this empty the cup thing is important and what do you have to do here, right? First, let me tell you what you have to do here. Anything related to this problem that you are facing currently, your mind is thinking of, please put it down here. Don't be shy. Don't think, what is it? Hey, I'm a child to write this, whatever. Don't think about anything. Whatever comes to your mind related to this particular issue or your problem or a challenge that you're facing, please put it down here. Please remember that it has to be related to that particular problem, because for another set of problem, you have to create another sheet. So right now, focus on one problem. You can relate it to anything related to that particular problem, you can put it down here. And I'll give you another story for this empty the cup so that you understand it better. There's a professor, and he is, let's say she is a very learned person, and she's of course done her doctorate. She is very learned. She likes to learn and dabble into new ways of life and study about life and other things as well. So she suddenly gets these questions on what is life, what is the meaning of life, is there life after death, and those kind of intricate questions, which you get into sometimes doubt. So she gets these questions and she's very confused. So she starts to read a book, you know, and somebody tells her that, Buddhism is a very, a religion which talks about life a lot. So why don't you go through it? So she buys a lot of books and she reads one after the other. And like, she's like, takes 11 days of leave and then she studied everything. Now she hopes to get answers to the questions after reading everything. But imagine what, when she comes out, she's even more confused. Because I've read all the possible books that I had, and now I am even more confused about life. So then she talks to one of her fellow friends, who's another professor, and she says, "Okay, why don't you do one thing? I know this Buddhist monk. Why don't you go and meet up with this monk? He has solutions to all the questions." She takes the advice. She does. She says, "Ah, that's a good idea. I can do that." She goes. She goes meets this person. This person is an old Buddhist monk. Opens the door, gets the lady inside, and then asks her to sit. Now, as soon as she sits, she starts, "You know what, Buddhist monk, I have this problem and this question, and I have life, and da, 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 da." She goes on and on, like a moron. And the Buddhist monk keeps looking at her, doesn't say a word. And now she's confused and perplexed. She looks at him back and like, "Hey, I have questions." Again, he doesn't say anything. He instead goes into his kitchen, goes there, and starts to prepare tea. Now, this lady is further confused. What's happening? Have I come to the right place? She just he's a little bit patient. This guy comes back with a tea kettle in his hand and a cup in a saucer. So she probably understands that, okay, maybe he wants to offer me coffee or tea. And he starts to pour tea. Starts to pour. And this lady's like, "Wait, the tea reaches to the brim." And it's like, wait, it'll spill. But this man doesn't stop. He keeps pouring. And as you've guessed correctly, the tea pours out. It goes into the saucer, goes onto the table. It's like, "Stop." She says, "What are you doing?" So then that's when the Buddhist monk looks at the lady, smiles, and says, "This is exactly the state of your mind. You have come here for me to help you out with answers. I cannot help you out till you empty the cup. Like more tea cannot come into it until you empty this cup." So that's what is empty the cup. You cannot get solutions to your problem until you empty the cup out here. So anything, any feeling, any mood that you are into or which is causing you this challenge, please write it down here, one after the other. Now, once you have done this in column number 1, don't worry about whether it's 15 issues, 10, 20, 12. It doesn't matter. These are your issues. Just put it down. But it should be related to the same problem. Now, once you have done that, just take a deep breath and check for yourself. I'm sure if you've done this exercise right, you are going to feel much more lighter. If not positive, you're going to feel very neutral and light about situation, right? Our work doesn't stop here. After this, we go to the second on the left side. You remember we had written desired results. You're going to go there. And with your beautiful handwriting and with your beautiful whatever colored pen, you're going to write the desired results there. Now, what are desired results? The desired results are the results that you expect out of this situation. It's not like I want, something out of life in general. It has to be very specific. And it can be one, two, at the most three, because the more you write, the chances are that you are more and more confused. It has to be very specific here. Unlike the first one where I told you to write anything that comes in mind, here you have to go a little bit more deeper and actually see what you want out of this situation. So if you're unhappy or you are restless, you are anxious, you have this fear, because of the job or whether the campus will come or not and those kind of things, just write the expected results here. Let's say the expected result is I want to have a job. Second result, I want to enjoy my life while I'm in the campus or while I'm in the college, right? And boys and girls, why I'm saying that is because I have faced this problem when I was in my college. It is difficult. Either even if you have campus, you don't have campus, you have a good companies coming, you don't have good companies coming, it doesn't matter. All the kids at around that time are more anxious because they're anxious about the future. So we might have different problems, different kids might have different problems, but be specific about the result that you want to achieve out of this, right? Now, once you have written it, the beauty of this exercise, this column number 2 is, one, you become very clear as to what you want. You know what? Most people do not get what they want because their mind is not clear as to what they want. I mean, there is some idea, there's some hazy picture, but many of us do not exactly know or do not know how to really comprehend it in words because we are not clear in our thoughts. So, this particular exercise will make sure that you are very clear about what you want and you are that clear that you can write it down. The other thing, what it does is, if some of you have read the book, if you have not, I recommend you read this book by Rhonda Byrne. This is the book Secret. She's written about 7 books, but I like Secret and then Magic the best. But for now, if you've never read it, just read Secret. Now, what does Secret say is that our thoughts have got the power, their positivity, that they can attract positive thoughts. So the positive thoughts have power to attract positive thoughts. The negative thoughts have a power to attract negative thoughts. So now, if we have positive thoughts, which is what I'm talking about in desired results, none of us will think negative, want to have negative thoughts when it comes to results, right? All of us wants positive results. So here we're going to write positive result, what we want out of this situation, which will have the power to attract that positivity in us. That's the second benefit of doing this particular exercise. So once you have clearly written that, you take in another deep breath and you'll now realize that your mind is much, much more positive than it was before you started this exercise. Now, once done that, you're going to move to step number 3. And step number 3 is in the column number 3 where you've written bucketize issues. So now is the time where you're going to start doing a little bit more in depth about your feelings and facts. Now, what you have to do is, again, go back to column number 1, and each of the things that you have written out there, you're going to classify them as feelings or facts. Now, some of you might be wondering, what are feelings, what are facts? Now, I'll make your life simpler. Anything that you can read, you have read, you have seen, or you have heard it. are facts. Rest all are feelings. Even if you feel, you believe that no, it's a very strong feeling, it was a fact. Because your mind, after a while, when it reads the story, forgets what is fact, what is a story. It just weaves them into one. So, very clearly, whatever you have written in column number one, please classify that either a feeling or a fact. Just write against it feeling, fact, feeling, fact, feeling. Once you have done that exercise, you will be very surprised to see that about 70% to 80%, in some cases even 90% of what you have written are feelings. And maybe there are two or three facts or a little bit more, right? Now, once you have done this exercise, like I said, come to column number three, write all the feelings together, one after the other, and write all the facts together, one after the other, in a sequence. So, all feelings together, all facts together. Once you have done that, against all the feelings, because whose feelings are they? It's yours, right? You're going to put your name there. For now, I'll put I, right? You're going to write I against feelings. And against facts, you can put whoever is the originator of the fact. For example, if somebody is bothering you, it could be that person. If it is, for example, the situation, you could put COVID-19 as the fact that it is responsible for the situation. Whoever is responsible for that situation, you're going to put that person's name or that thing's name around that. Okay, clear? I mean, I'll do a recap so it's much more clearer. But for now, we will then move to the fourth part of it. Now, in this fourth part, which says solution is with me, what you're going to do is you're going to change your hats. So from being yourself, you're going to wear a hat of a coach. Just take a fancy name and you are the coach, right? You are the coach who's been presented with these feelings and facts, and you have a name who's responsible for these feelings and facts. So like a coach, you want to go through the list, and now you as a coach will advise or will come out with solutions, any possible solution. Don't think practicality right now. Think of a solution which can solve that particular issue. I'm not talking about feelings and facts anymore. I'm just talking about issues right now. So that particular issue, just take one by one and start to write the solution. There could be more than one solution because you're creative people. It could be more questions. Some solutions are in the form of questions. So you can have follow-up questions written here to get more information. So in the column number 4, which is written solution is with me, you're going to write all possible solutions for all the particular feelings and facts, we call it issues, that you have written in number 3 here. Now, once you have done that, life is very, very simple. Then what you're going to do is, again, you're going to remove this hat of the coach and come back to your original self and go to column number 5, which says act. Now, I'll tell you what act means. ACT is an acronym. It means A stands for assess and choose. C stands for create smart goals, and T stands for take action. Okay, and as you can figure out now, what you're going to do is there are a lot of solutions that the coach has provided you, right? Now you're going to first assess and choose which are the solutions that you are going to be taking up in order for you to act on it, because solutions or ideas in itself is nothing, right? They have to be acted upon to get to the outcome, right? Remember the desired results. So you're going to choose any of those, because there could be a lot of solutions, or you could choose all of them. It depends on your appetite and the solutions offered, right? So assume you have selected few of them, and those are the ones. What you're going to do is, let's say you've taken 5 of them, you're going to convert them into smart goals. Now you know what are smart goals, but for repetition, smart is S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for real time or realistic or relevant, and T for time bound. This is what we use in our corporate language or lingo. All the goals should be SMART goals, means they should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant, and time bound. So what you're going to do is you're going to convert these solutions that we are talking about, or the coach has offered, the ones that you have chosen, and convert them into SMART goals, very specific. And as the practicality goes, not more than five or six, not more than that at a time. Now, once you have created them in a SMART goal, what you have to do is just once again look at these goals, look at the desired results, just so that you are on the same page and you've not, wavered or changed your lane. Just make sure that these five specific measurable goals that you have taken are leading to your desired results or have the potential to lead to the desired results. You see a match. If you've done the exercise, there would be 100% match. If you've not done this exercise correctly, then you have to go back to the four column, pick up the solutions, and make sure that this matches. Once you have done that, then is the time for the most important part is take action. And like I said, these are time bound goals, these are measurable goals, so you have specifics written around it. And that's when you will prepare your action plan. What you're going to do, when you're going to do, how you're going to do, in all of that. Right? Once this exercise is done, is when you will take a long, deep breath. Now, if you really see what we have done in this exercise, remember when we started, it was a fuzzy thing in the sea of emotions, issues, challenges. And when we come out of this exercise, you have specific actions to work on, which are tied to your problem and which are potential for your desired results. And that's when you have to start acting on it, right? So we'll do a little bit of recap for this solution. I know because you're hearing it for the first time, it might be a bit confusing. So we do a little bit recap through this flow chart. Like I said, first go to a very quiet place where you are alone with your problem statement and your sheet, the chart sheet. Focus on the problem that's bugging you. Third, on the first column, so you're going to draw those four columns and you're going to leave some space on the left. You'll number them as 1, 3, 4, 5. And this side, on the left side, you're going to name it as column number 2. In the first one, you're going to write empty the cup. And that's where you're going to pour out your heart. You're going to put out all your problems that are bugging you, right? Anything, feelings, emotions, don't worry, don't classify them right now. Just put them down, right? And then you're going to move to the left-hand side space, column number 2, where you're going to write desired results. Very specifically, you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to write exactly what you need as desired result out of this particular problem that is bugging you. What it could be a situation, it could be a tangible result, it could be anything, but it has to be specific, right? Once you have done that, then you're going to classify the issues that are bugging you into feelings and facts. Feelings, facts are simple. They are read, heard, or seen. Rest are all feelings. Once you have done that, you're going to column number 3, where you're going to bucketize this list. You're writing feelings together, you're writing facts together, and you're writing the name, the originator, or the source of these issues. Definitely, if it is feelings, it's only you, so it's easy. You're going to write your name against it. The ones which are different, which are facts, there could be other sources than your own self. So you're going to write the source, the originator source, or the source who's causing that problem to you. You're going to write the name of that person. You're going to wear the hat of the coach and you're going to write all possible solutions, jot down all possible solutions for those particular issues that we have listed out in column 3, out in the column 4. Once you have done that, be very creative in here. Once you have done that, you're going to act. That means first step is assess and choose. You're going to assess and choose the problem, the solutions out of the plethora of solutions given, the solutions that you're going to be working on. Once you have done that, you're going to create SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Specific, measurable goals with those solutions. You're going to make it, and then you're going to do a tally. Are these 5 or 6, not more than that, goals leading to my desired results? Yes, great job done. You're going to start acting on it. And please do not forget, as soon as you act yourself, first of all, give yourself a pat on the back. You have done a great job. You have made your unconscious mind switch to conscious thinking. Now, the thing is, it's not permanent. Once you are out in the field, you start working on it. It might be a reversible change, right? Like the physical change. It's not a chemical change, which is like one sided. It can be reversible. So, again, whenever, that's the beauty. Now, you have written it down. Whenever you are feeling demotivated, wavering, go back to your sheet, look at the desired result, look at the smart solutions, make sure it's always in front of you, right? Appreciate yourself as soon as you get a desired result. It may be the full desired result or a step closer to the desired result. Do not worry. Do not think I'm going to only celebrate when finally I get my desired result. Each step is a way forward, and you've done a great job there. You're going to appreciate yourself, celebrate success with your friends, with your family, or whoever it is. You don't have to share exactly why you're celebrating. It's up to you if you want to share or not, and move forward. This will give you a lot of motivation to really move forward. Now, this I have just taken as an example. We'll not go into it in length, but when you populate your sheet, this is how it is going to look like. Your desired results and, all the columns. And this is all your secret. So you don't have to share it with anyone because it's your problem, it's your solution. Don't worry. Nobody is looking at it. It's for you. Now, once you have achieved your results, it's up to you. You can, put a nice satin ribbon on it, keep it as your appreciation. You can tear it to say, yes, I have overcome it. Whatever you want to do it for your own self, right? There are some cautions and tips that I'd like to give you for this process before we really open up for questions, if you have any. For this exercise, don't do it as a checkbox exercise. Don't do it because I've said to you. You do it when you really need it. Only then that it will be effective. That means there is a real problem that's bugging you. Don't try to just create something because that will not be real. And when it is real, make sure you are honest to yourself. Some of us, we want to play very strong and we don't even open out to our own self. That's why that sheet is important for you, because you can pour your heart there. Nobody is judging you there. You can even write, I feel like crying, even if that's the feeling. I feel depressed. Don't worry. You just write it down. Okay, so be honest to yourself. Don't take any shortcuts. Don't say, okay, I know the solution, I'll jump into it, because this is not going to help you. It has to be done step by step for you to get the real results, right? Like I said, don't treat this as a checkbox exercise. It's a tool. It's a tool. It's a virtual coach that is available to you. Be very specific and clear of the desired results. If you're hazy, your results are going to be hazy, or whatever you get, you're not going to be happy about it, or you're not going to be clear about it, or whatever you get, you'll be happy about it. So just be careful there. Be clear on the facts. Again, facts are what you have heard, read, and saw. Rest are all feelings. Most of the times, you will realize when you put it on the paper that most of it was feelings. There were very little facts on it. And not that, don't think that you are, students, or you are just young. That's why it happens. It happens to all of us, no matter how old we become. I have this tool. Still, I have the problems, and I use this tool to get out of my own problems. So, it's very human for everyone. And once you have decided, you have gone so far to create smart goals, just don't let them be on the paper, because then you're not going to get the desired results. The mind, energy, emotion, and action should be in alignment. So you need to get the action rolling. And like I said, once you have achieved your results, or you have completed this exercise, or you have come one step further, don't worry that you have not received the desired result yet. Whenever each step, be thankful, be positive, congratulate yourself, appreciate yourself, and say, yes, I did it. What do you guys do? Dapping or high five? Those kind of things you can do to, really cheer yourself up. Yep. And the side benefits of this, if you really, I mean, one of the benefits, of course, I've just mentioned, but the side benefits of it is it gives you a lot of acceptance. A lot of things are not in our hand, right? But what is in your hand is to be positive, to act on it, to find a solution. So first of all, you have a lot of acceptance. Second of all, a lot of peace. Third of all, positivity. Fourth, solutions that you never thought. When you don't think consciously, you just get top of the mind solution. This way, you will be very surprised to see your mind is capable of giving you a lot of solutions which you have never thought of. You get a purpose, because your mind is now busy acting on things, and you have a way forward, which is what you were lacking when you were faced with a problem. So these are some side effects, which are positive side effects of this whole exercise. And with this last quote, I would like to hand it over to Momita or Ashish or Nivedita ma'am. In the quote is like this, which is very relevant to this situation. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and we nourish it with repetition, that emotion will one day become reality. With this, I hand over back to you, ma'am and Ashish.
Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thanks for
Thank you.
giving us the roadmap of identifying the problems and then working out solutions to exactly achieving the objectives. Really, quite often we face a problem and we have a tendency to focus on the negative situation, and then we react to the situation like we always do, and then it doesn't work. Pushing on the, it doesn't work, and then we are pushed to further feeling the negativity within us. So finally, it becomes a vicious circle, as you rightly said. So when you're pushing canvas, which you nicely explained, I'm sure that that is going to help all of us in coming out of the vicious circle, and then working out not one solution, maybe working out alternative solutions to the issues and the problems which we face. Really nice. Now, should we have the forum open for any kind of questions?
Madam,
From,
madam, I am
yes, sir.
I am KGS Money speaking.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, madam, I just wanted to know whether this approach is applicable to all sorts of problems which are specific in nature and which is related to your life.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Mani, for the question, and I'm sure this will help others as well. Yes, this can be related to any problem. It could be an emotional problem. It could be a problem related to your professional career. It could be a problem related to relationship. I have used it in various situations, and it's worked out.
Okay,
So yes, you
madam.
can
Next
go.
question:
Yeah.
that there are three types of problems for which the solution can be found out. As I understand, one type of problem for which the direct solution is available, and second type of problem for which the solution, only alternate solution is available. We have to live with that. Third problem is that there is no solution and we have to live with the problem for lifetime. How do you reconcile this with your concept?
Brilliant. So that is where we have to focus on the real problem. Now, the real problem is not that we don't have a solution. The real problem is our mind, which is not accepting that this is a situation, right? For example, we don't have a solution to COVID-19 yet, vaccine, right? But the problem is not that we don't have a solution. The problem is our mind is creating these anxiety in us. Hey, what if I get positively, like I get this infection. Hey, will I survive this? Hey, will I have this? Will I? So, the problem more often than not is whether it's not about the solution. First of all, it is about the problem, which is where your mind becomes restless and it's not helping you out of the solution. Now, like you said, if you come to something like, that there is no vaccine for this, for example, right? Now, fine, that's not a solution, but acceptance for that fact is a solution, right? So I would not say that there is no solution out of any problem. There has to be a solution.
Yeah,
The solution may not be what you want right now.
that's it.
And that's why when you get into this exercise, you'll find out there are alternative solutions.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank you,
give you
madam.
I'll give you my example if we have a permission of time, and it is
Yes.
relevant, so I would like to share this. Now, when I was doing my MBA, we had campus selection like you guys have. And a lot of my friends, and I considered myself to be brilliant. So I had this aspiration that I'll be, having the campus in the first go itself, or maybe that was my somehow my desired, my desire sometime. And I realized the first time it came, I was selected till the interview. I didn't make it. The second time, third time, and by the time fifth time, most of my friends got through campus. I was still going through the last round and I was not getting selected. So I was very much dejected. It was not like whether companies will come or not. It was like whether I will get a job or not. All my friends have got it, and I was supposed to get it in my mind in the first attempt, right? And I was very dejected. I didn't have this tool that point in time because I was still a student. I didn't create something like this. I went into this vicious cycle. You know what all I did? I left the hostel. I started to bunk classes. I be home. Why? Because I didn't want to face my friends. I didn't want to answer questions. I just wanted to be alone, which was making me more miserable. The whole anxiety, plus you are alone, plus you're not having fun. Finally, I got through a good job. And today, whatever I am, I owe it to that job. So maybe it turned out to be very good for me, because had I been selected in one job, the first one, I wouldn't have been where I am today. So it is much more better for me this way. But what I've lost with all of this is my precious last quarter, which I would have enjoyed with friends, and I sulked and I was negative and I don't know what all I did. So maybe the solution that point in time, if you ask me, was not to get through the first round of campus. Maybe the solution was just to have a peace of mind and be positive and just accept what you're getting. But it turned out to be better than what I would have normally got.
Okay, thank you.
Ruchi, I also have a question,
Sure.
if I may ask. So, since the problem is also mine, and the solution is also being worked out by myself, so is there a possibility of getting a bias or a bias coming in when I'm doing the activity?
Sure. Momita, and that's a very valid question, because at the face of it, it's like, hey, I am the one who has a problem. I'm the one who's getting a solution. But again, I go back to my original thought. Your mind is like a kalpa vriksha. It can create every possibility. The problem is it goes into an auto mode. It creates unconscious thoughts which are not in your control. That's what leads to negativity and no solution. You feel you have reached a dead end. With this process, which is a very objective process, you are not worried about solution. You are just following the step. And what we have done in these 5 steps, if you really see, we have aligned first the energy and the emotion, which is in the first 2 steps become positive, from neutral to negative to neutral to positive. Then we have aligned our minds to it, which is desired results. Then we have aligned our actions through solutions and smart goals. So in a very step by step, practical, scientific way, we have converted or changed our gears from an unconscious, like a unstoppable, unconscious, auto mode mind to a conscious, more controlled, more accepted, peaceful, positive solution. So if you do it this way, there is not a chance that you will have a bias. Because you remember in the fourth exercise, we wore the hat of a coach. When you really write it on the paper, it's no more your problem. It becomes somebody else's problem, and you are able to automatically look at it objectively. Just do this exercise, you will see it yourself. You come out of your own zone. So that's how the bias is removed.
Thanks, thanks. See, why we have one more question from Dr. Kalyana Sundaram.
Sure.
So his question is, how do we get solutions when our mind is blank?
Okay. So can I ask a follow-up question to the person who's asked this question?
Yes, Dr. Sundaram, if you can
Yeah,
unmute yourself, you can ask your question, and she has a follow-up question as well here.
yeah. So Dr. Sundaram, what do you mean by blank?
Dr. Sundaram.
Yeah. When you see, when you're nervous, often you don't know, you feel there is no solution in front of you, or you feel helpless.
Sure.
This may not occur all the time. I'm just saying, you feel, okay, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Good. So that becomes your problem then. So when you do this exercise, and I'll again go back to the tool, this tool is to be used when you're really stuck up. It's not like, hey, should I have coffee or tea? Let me use the tool. I'm sure we know about it, right? So when you feel helpless, you feel your mind is now on that spree of unconscious thought. It's not letting you sleep or be at ease. You're anxious, whatever. You have fear, you have anxiety, you have hopelessness, victimization, whatever you call it, or blankness. I don't know. I don't have a solution. That's when you do this exercise. So that becomes your problem statement. My mind is blank. I'm not getting solution, and write it down. And what is it leading to? It's leading to more fear. It's leading to anxiousness. So that's what you write. And what is your desired result? I want to come out with a solution out of this exercise. That becomes your desired result. You will get a solution. Like I said, that solution will not be something top of your mind. That is where you have to do this exercise. But there will be a solution.
So what do I write in column 2 and column 4?
Column 2 is your desired results, right? So you right now you are just giving me one symptom that your mind is blank. When you write down the real problems, why is your mind blank? What has happened? What is the problem? Those are the problems you're going to write, and then that will lead to your desired results. What do you want out of this? So in column 2, you're going to write the desired results that you want. You want a solution out of this, you're going to write that. So I want a possible solution out of this. That would be your desired results. And then that's when in column 3, you're going to start writing whether these, whatever you have written in column 1, are the feelings or facts. Are they mine? In your case, this is all yours. It's not a fact that you don't have a solution. It's your feeling that you don't have a solution. So you're going to write down their feelings and facts, and then you're going to wear a hat of the coach and think what could be a solution.
Madam, can you just explain how do you distinguish again between fact and feeling?
Yes. So it's quite simple. First, attack the facts. Facts are anything that you have seen, heard, or read, right? So if the doctor has written to you, your mind does not contain any cerebrum or cerebellum or what have you, and it will never have thoughts. That's when you believe it. Or somebody, God has come, has written and shown you, you will never have a solution. That's when you believe. That becomes a fact. Rest is all feeling.
Okay. Thank you. Actually, one more question has come, Ruchi. Can we use this tool for coaching others as well, or it is only applicable to your own self?
Sure. So it is a self-coaching tool, like the name suggests. It is for your own self, but you can use it for others. How you can use it for others is you can train others into this tool, provided first you have learned it yourself. Because once you have done it, only then you will have conviction, and only then you will know the nuances of this tool, right? That's when you can offer the tool like I'm offering it to you. You could offer it to others. Now, why you cannot do it for them is, one, they will not open out for you for the problems, not fully. Second is, you can't be writing solutions because then they will not be their solution. The idea for them is to get them out of their own mental state, mental imbalance that has been created because of the challenging situation. So my advice is to coach them in this tool. You can give your example, what you have done, and let them use it for themselves.
Okay, fine. Do we have any more question? If anybody has, you can unmute and ask the question. I think.
Ma'am,
Yes,
can I
sure,
ask one
Sahil.
question? Yeah, ma'am. As in, I wanted to ask, is this toolkit immune to procrastination, or do I have to actively work to, as in, I have to constantly force myself to work
No.
around?
Sahil, you don't have to force yourself, because like I said, it's not a curriculum project where you have to do it, right? You want a solution. So I'll give you an example, right? Um, let's say, Sahil, you have a beard, right? And you love the beard and you look good, and you kind of very happy with it. You don't have to force yourself to go to a salon, right? Just because others are going, right? You really go when you want to get your beard shaved off, right? So the same way, you only use this tool when you really have a problem. You don't test it, because then it's not real. You can only use it when you really have a problem, and that's your problem, because only then it will be genuine. Only then would you be interested in the results. Only then will you act on it. Only then will you be able to come out with the topics. And now, talking about procrastination happens when you have not have actions. You don't have action list in front of you. This action list is made by you through a very step by step process. There is a problem. This is a solution. Problem was yours. Solution is taken out by you. You have committed smart goals for your own self. Now, if you don't act, nothing in, I mean, you are thirsty, you have water, you have filled the glass of water, and now if you're not drinking, nobody can come and make you drink that water, right?
Yeah.
So that is where. So procrastination will not come in this case because you're not being forced to do it. You are doing it out of your self will because you want a solution out of it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Madam, what role does connectedness to people play?
What role does connectiveness? Come again, please.
What role in such situations does the connectivity to people around will have on an individual?
Um,
Will it be a positive impact or it is going to be a negative way in which, the mind will be influenced?
See, first of all, you cannot not have people around you. Okay, so assume you have a problem. Whether you tell it to your people or not, your close ones will see it on your face. Your behaviors would be different. Your moods would be different. The way you speak would be different. Or, like I said, I went into isolation. It is quite visible, right? So now everybody who loves you, likes you, or is capable of offering an advice would give an advice, and that work would have happened. When you are in a real problem, hundreds, and in India we have more than that. Everybody wants to give an advice, right? So everybody will start giving you advice, and there is nothing wrong about it. Some of the problems are solved by just accepting others advice. What I'm trying to talk about here is your own self is the best advisor for you, right? So it doesn't matter whether you have people around you or not. When you have your own self with you, when you are in a company of a good self, which is you, is great. So, I mean, I don't really see whether people around you, negative, positive. I would only see friends probably, or people, family would help you, or your professional self help you once you have committed to your goals.
Okay.
You could
Thank you.
have a buddy who's saying, okay, I'm going to do this, please check on me, please, or you will celebrate success with that person. So I think it will help from that perspective.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Any more questions? Okay, fine. So that was great. And somehow, Ruchi, right now I'm just forced to do an analogy here. I feel it's more like focusing your camera. You just move the lens elements here, there, till the time you get the sharpest possible image. And then the things are so clear in front of you, and you are ready to go.
Yeah.
So this toolkit is more like that. Then it's more driving us on the right direction, right? So it is true that everyone has problems, and at the same time, it is also true that every problem has a solution. So if this be the reality of life, then why not focus on solutions rather than problems?
Yeah.
So anyhow, thank you so much, Ruchi. And now, Nivedita ma'am, it's over to you.
Thank you, Mamita. You need to
Nivedita ma'am,
unmute.
I think you are muted, ma'am. Please unmute. Nivedita ma'am.
Madam, please remove your earphone. Nivedita, madam, please remove your earphone and talk. Okay.
You can't hear her.
She was audible earlier.
Uh, Madam, try to join from your mobile phone.
Mobile phone, yes,
It will work.
that will work. I think she's able to hear us, Ashish sir.
Yes, ma'am. She's able to hear
Okay,
us.
okay. So meanwhile, if anybody else has any question, you can ask because Ruchi is there with us. So
Can you hear me now?
Madam,
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, ma'am, you are
Okay.
audible. Yes.
Thank God. So, thank you so much, Ruchi. It was a wonderful session, and actually, we are so blessed to get all your experience in this webinar. We can actually learn from these tools and techniques, and this is helping all of us to manage ourselves, our emotions, our mindset. We really need a coach who can keep on guiding us, helping us, and coaching us to keep our mind on the right track, to keep our emotions on the right track. And I think you have done a wonderful job, and it was much needed in the time of this lockdown when everybody is so dull. I mean, outside they look very happy, okay, fine, but inside they are a little worried. What is going to happen to my future? What is going to happen to my work? What is going to happen to my family life? Everything is like so much of mixed emotions. And at this point of time, launching this toolkit, a caution kit, was really a great attempt from I think our side. And I must definitely thank Momita madam for introducing Ruchi to us, for Momita to getting her on the board, on the panel, to speak to all our students. We have so many faculty members here, we have so many heads here, all wonderful, beautiful human beings who have joined with us. I am definitely sure this is going to help them, and I would request all of them to follow the chart, whatever Ruchi has said. Try to work on the chart, try to make a roadmap for yourself on the toolkit what she has provided. I think this is the best what Pillais is doing. I mean, without any money, without any charges, we are coaching everybody free of cost. So I think it is a good attempt. And getting a personality like Ruchi on board. Ruchi is actually very busy with so many webinars. So thank you so much for your wonderful time. And thank you, Momita, for giving us this opportunity to have Ruchi on board. Thank you to all the listeners. Without you, without the participants, it is not possible to make this or tag this program as a successful program. Thank you, Ashish Tripathi, sir, who is constantly working day and night technically to make this all things happen. Yes, it's going to be a big technological challenge for all of us, and we are trying to cope up with this new system of virtual world. And I'm actually missing my friends, my family, where I can hug them and talk to them. So I'm just waiting for those days to come back, and hope to have live more sessions with Ruchi in our campus itself. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sridharan sir. We thank the management board of Mahatma Education Society, Dr. Priyam Pillai, Dr. Pranav Pillai, Dr. K. M. Vasudevan Pillai, Dr. Daphne Pillai madam, Dr. C.K. Sridharan sir, and all the faculty members, all our beautiful students whose energy helps us to motivate, who motivates us to have these programs. So thank you so much. Stay blessed, all of you. Stay safe, and let's catch up soon in the campus. Let's pray for that, and let's pray that we all recover from this plague and from this pandemic as soon as possible. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you, Ruchi, for your time, and thank you,
Thank
all of
you.
you. Kindly collect your certificates, e-certificates. As soon as you fill up the feedback form, you're going to get a e-certificate designed by a technical team. So please take the certificate and have a nice day. Thank you all for joining us, and please join for the next webinar on 26th May, where we have our senior alumnus from PIMSR who are very, very senior in the field of finance now. They were our students in the year 1999 2000. They have, one has become director of Deloitte, one has become vice president of Aditya Birla, and one of our student has become vice president of India Bulls Finance. So join for that webinar on 26th, and definitely you will also enjoy that session also. Thank you so much. Bye, all of you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank,
Bye bye.
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Momita. Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank
Mamita.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Nivedita.
you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank you.
Ashish. Bye bye.